want to turn to Hallie Jackson, our senior political correspondent, of course, watching all of this and this issue of reproductive rights. This abortion case just decided by the Supreme Court. I should mention there's another one pending for the Supreme Court, and we may get more decisions as we speak. The court's still meeting. This has broad implications for the campaign trail.
It does, because Democrats have sought to make reproductive rights, Savannah, front and center in this campaign for president come November. It was a hugely mobilizing issue for voters back during the midterms, the months after the Supreme Court overturned that landmark abortion rights ruling Roe versus Wade. And since then, you have seen Democrats push this again and again. Even today, for example, there's a vote in Congress that would seek to enshrine protection for IVF, for example. Obviously, a key way in vitro fertilization that many women end up having babies in this country. Largely seen as a messaging bill, but it's an indication of the spotlight that Democrats want to put on this, with Vice President Kamala Harris really leading the charge for the Biden campaign on this. Now, Republicans, in some ways, have been on the back foot as some conservatives have sought to continue to put restrictions on access to abortion, and that is partly why this mifepristone case was being so closely looked at. If you look at some of the numbers, where do Americans stand on this? The majority, 63%, according to some recent numbers, favored keeping access to mifepristone. So this is something where the court now is aligning with where the majority of Americans are. It is unlikely to make this issue go away come November, because it is still, in the eyes of Democrats, something that they think can get their people out to the polls. On the flip side of the spectrum, you have Republicans now seeking to walk kind of a line. The Roe versus Wade getting overturned was a fight that, as you know, Savannah, had been decades in the making for conservatives. Once they got there, the question became, what's next? And importantly, what would be politically palatable for Americans moving forward, considering how widely popular access to contraception, for example, is for a lot of folks. So a very significant ruling. I'll tell you what I'm waiting to see is any reaction, obviously, from the FDA here on this, significant for them. And in addition, any political reaction, too. Former President Trump is here in Washington. He is back near the Capitol for the first time since January 6th. President Biden, of course, is overseas, but this is going to have an impact come November, Savannah.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.